All right, guys. So one of the themes I've been talking about over the last week or so is the so-called Trump economy. Okay, there's a whole economy that is way bigger than normal people might imagine. That is solely built off Trump. I've argued that Twitter has massively benefited from Trump. Right? They've grew tremendously. Okay. And that's evidenced by the fact that Facebook and Twitter lost over $51 billion in market cap collectively when they decided to ban the president. Okay? Wherever President Trump goes, money follows. Now, that also applies to the haters. Okay? And it might apply to the haters more than anybody, because one of the biggest Ponzi schemes we know on the left, Black Lives Matter, I believe collects a lot of money, not because people really care a lot about the black plight, but more so as a means to try to fight against white supremacy. And the head of white supremacy in their eyes is Trump. Okay, now we have another group, the Lincoln Project, who is a group of establishment Republicans that think that they're taking the moral high ground by disassociating themselves with the president, and not only disassociating themselves with the president, but turning around and attacking the president and his supporters endlessly, saying that they're trying to stop Trumpism. Okay? So this group has raised millions of dollars, mainly from Democrats, over the last few months leading up to the election, as they put out these kind of corny, but also pretty entertaining ads. You can't lie, they're pretty good ads against Trump, trying to stop him. And it's funny how these people who supposedly have taken the moral high ground have been caught doing what everybody has been saying they've been doing since day one, grifting off the overly emotional Democrat hate for Trump. Before we get into that, my name is Greg Foreman and you're watching A Black Conservative Perspective. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share A Black Conservative Perspective, aka a leftist worst nightmare. You can also follow me on Twitter at gforemanbcp. Let's get it. All right, guys. So, the group of former establishment Republicans, it seems like all they do is attack Trump and other establishment Republicans, and they praise the Democrats. I mean, at this point, I just wish that they would come out of the closet, or maybe they have. Because it's been reported by Axios that John Weaver, a Lincoln Project co-founder, acknowledges inappropriate messages. Okay? John Weaver, a veteran Republican operative who founded the Lincoln Project, declared a statement to Axios on Friday that he sent, quote, inappropriate sexually charged messages to multiple men. Quote, to the men I made uncomfortable through my messages that I view as consensual mutual conversations at the time, I am truly sorry. They are inappropriate, and it was because of my feelings that this discomfort was brought to you, Weaver said. Quote, the truth is that I'm gay, he added, and that I have a wife and 2 kids who I love. My inability to reconcile those two truths has led me to this agonizing place. Wow. Again. Wow. So it sounds to me like this guy needs to get his head out of President Trump's butt and go lay on somebody's couch. Because it sounds to me like, he is bisexual, right? You're not gay, you're bisexual. So, at this point, he has some issues. Now, the New York Post has some more juicy details about what was going down here. And guys, don't get it twisted. It's nothing wrong with, homosexuality. I'm only pointing out the hypocrisy in the fact that these guys are trying to take a moral high ground, but yet this man is propositioning young men for sex in exchange for job opportunities and things of that nature. I mean, that is corruption, okay? So the New York Post says, some 24 men have claimed Weaver dangled job opportunities while propositioning them for sex, including one who claimed he had consensual intercourse with the longtime GOP operative in a hotel, but he never got a gig out of it, the American Conservative reported. See now, that's my issue, right? You said, hey, if we pull up and, we make it happen, then, you might get a job out of it. And this guy never followed through. But yet he wants to try to guilt trip America into why President Trump is such a bad person. But yet behind closed doors, these guys are doing things that, again, are immoral and corrupt. Others said Weaver slid into the direct messages on Twitter, referring to them as, quote, my boy, complimented their hair and asked about their genitals. Whew, Jesus Christ. The married Weaver took a medical leave from the Lincoln Project over the summer. Yeah, he's having some mental issues going on, obviously. But said in a Friday statement to Axios he would not be returning. Weaver could not be immediately reached by the Post. All right, so on top of that, there's also been reported that the AntiTrump Lincoln Project funneled over $10 million to his own founders. So it was taking that Democrat guilt money, the Trump derangement syndrome money, and just enriching themselves. Again, standard behavior here, guys. I'm not surprised at all. These people that claim to be so moral, they're so above Trump. We would not do anything that Trump do. Trump is the worst person in the world when you get down to the nitty gritty and the dirty, right? Like some of these guys are. You see who they really are. They're nothing but corrupt establishment frauds. That's what they are. Frauds. All of them. Okay? The financial records from the Lincoln Project, the anti-Trump group lauded by the establishment media, appear to reveal that the group funneled over $10 million to enrich its own founders personally through their communications and consulting firms, the National Post can reveal. The news comes days after co-founder John Weaver admitted sending sexually inappropriate messages to young men. Launched in 2019 by a cohort of establishment so-called Republicans dedicated to defeating President Trump and Trumpism at the ballot box, the group has routinely funneled the millions it's raised to its founders and advisors. Federal Election Commission records show. Co-founder Reed Gallen's Summit Strategic Communications LLC raked in about $6 million in 2020, representing the highest paid entity by the Lincoln Project. All right, guys, so you can see here, these are all the people that have got paid by the Lincoln Project. And you can see this totals in millions of dollars. And I think that all these companies are owned by somebody that's a part of this group. And that includes salaries as well. So these guys literally are just running a Ponzi scheme straight up, taking advantage of other Democrats, taking advantage of their emotions, and just enriching themselves. I mean, just straight up. I mean, you're talking about the executive director, Sarah Lindsay, who was getting paid $173,000 a year, right? They're taking home six-figure salaries. Again, this is the same thing, in my opinion, as Black Lives Matter to a certain extent in terms of how the organization works. That's kind of how it goes, guys. You know, these people try to present this problem where they try to play on your emotions, right? They try to pull at the heartstrings in order for you to give them money. And then once you give them the money, the only thing the Lincoln Project does with the money is they just make videos. They make these corny videos on YouTube. I mean, I ain't gonna lie. I mean, good quality videos, but they make these videos and nobody even knows if these videos are actually effective. I mean, how many Lincoln Project videos have converted Trump supporters to Democrats? I guess because, I mean, it seems like they want everybody to be Democrats now, right? Like, it seems like these Republicans want to convert people to Democrats. So how many of these ads have actually converted people to vote Democrat, not vote Trump? I don't think that many have. I think at this point, these ads are basically masturbation material for the Democrats, particularly the ones who have Trump derangement syndrome to the highest degree. And basically, it's just a ploy to try to get them to send the Lincoln Project money, in which they can take that money and make more masturbation material, but at the same time, divert some of those funds into their own companies to enrich themselves. The game is simple, man. The game is simple. And all these stupid Democrats went out there and supported it. The same way that all these people went out there and donated money to Black Lives Matter, and you can see that Black Lives Matter is using that money to make videos about twerking on MLK Day. This is what they're doing with the money, guys. You know, and what'll be interesting for me is to see exactly what the next grift is for these guys, because if Trump is out of office, you know, are they just going to spend time fighting the establishment Republicans? Because they've been attacking the establishment Republicans, and what kind of pisses me off is that, okay, you're saying you're trying to fix the Republican Party. I understand that. The Republican Party needs fixing. However, you're just attacking the people that follow Trump and the establishment Republicans like Mitch McConnell, but yet you're not attacking the establishment Democrats. I mean, if you guys want to be Democrats, just say you want to be Democrats, because the Democrats are not above corruption. Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer are not above corruption. They're just as corrupt as McConnell. They just do it in a different way. But yet these guys have spent all this time nut hugging the Democrats and just attacking the Republicans. But yet they're trying to call themselves Republicans. I don't understand what the end goal here is. And they're continuing to do it. They're continuing to go out there and be like, oh no, we don't like anybody on the right. So what's the end goal? Okay, you already got Trump out of office. Like, what do you want to do? Are you trying to get rid of the whole party? Are you trying to be a edgy Republican in name only wing of the Democrat Party? Because that's what these guys are right now. Like, I have never heard these guys talk about like any type of policies that they want. Right? Like, this is not a policy driven initiative. Right? Like, if you disagree with the Republican Party so much and you want to change it, okay, well, what policies do you want to change? Do you disagree with the Republicans on economics, on free trade, on immigration? What do you disagree with the Republican Party on? And then say why you disagree with it and advocate for what policies you want to see changed. Because politics is all about policy, but this is not about policy. This is about trying to, one, make money, and then two, be in bed with the Democrats. And to me, in my opinion, these guys are frauds. They're frauds. Every single last one of them. Every single last one of them. And it's really disgusting to see how these people march out here and make these ads as if they're holier than thou. They don't have any issues. But yet, again, when you look behind the closed doors, you see what they're really about and you see what they're really into. And that's, again, par for the course with a lot of these people. So, you know, I would say I feel bad for the Democrats and the people that supported this Ponzi scheme and that continue to support this Ponzi scheme. But I honestly really don't. Because if you're too stupid to see through this BS, then, hey, that's on you. Free market, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Do you. But it is annoying that these people think they're actually doing anything because, you know, President Trump's going to be out of office. So they feel like, you know, they're on top of the world right now and that, you know, they may have been responsible for it, even though, you know, I don't think that ads were converting anybody. It was just, you know, masturbation material for the Democrats at the end of the day. But anyways, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.